Hey guys, welcome to Jack's Beautiful You. Today's video, I'm super excited because this is my last video talking about releases or perfumes I got, blind buys, all that of 2024. I'm wrapping up the 2024 roundup and I'm looking forward to moving on into 2025. I wanted to get this video in before the end of the year, but that didn't happen because I have a full-time job. But anyway, this is my last one. So today we are going to be talking specifically about releases from 2024. So I've already done my worst releases of 2024. If you missed that, definitely check it out. I've talked to you about my best blind buys, my worst blind buys, my best purchases of the year. But today, this is specifically perfumes that were released in 2024. Now, I could not narrow it down to just 10 perfumes. I was going to do top 10 of 2024, but I can't because I have so many that I just couldn't leave some of these off. So today we have my top 15. So 15 fragrances. I cannot wait to share them with you. I highly recommend every single one of these. I think they're all super fantastic. So if you're interested in seeing what they are, then just keep on watching. All right, these are not in any particular order. I did not rank these. Up first, we have by Navitus. This is in collaboration with Chris from the Perfume Nest, and this is Vanilla Eclat. And this fragrance is a shocker to me. I knew I was going to like it, but I didn't know that I was going to absolutely love it. I'm a big fan of vanilla. I love vanilla perfumes, but I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about rice. Rice isn't a note that I typically go for. I don't have a lot of experience with it, is the truth. It's not that I don't like it or I just didn't know. I just don't have a lot of perfumes with rice in it. And so I didn't know what to think, but I absolutely love this fragrance. It has really, really grown on me. So it's vanilla, but it's not a gourmand cupcakey vanilla to my nose, although it does have some sweet notes in it. It has some like coconut and caramel. I don't really pick those out per se, but I do get a touch of sweetness from the vanilla, but it's not full on into the cupcakey gourmand vanilla. But there is some sweetness to the fragrance. I definitely get the rice and I definitely get the sandalwood in here, which is gorgeous. I love sandalwood. You're going to see that in a lot of these fragrances I'm going to talk about today because sandalwood is one of my favorite notes in a fragrance. Also, I'm starting to pick up on the lactonic notes in here more and more as I wear it, and the performance is really, really good. This lasts all day with a moderate scent bubble. It's absolutely stunning. It's addictive, and I really, really think that this is very, very well done. So if you're someone who's just so sick and tired of the same old sugary, cupcakey, sweet, sweet, sweet vanilla perfumes, this is a much more sophisticated type of vanilla. I think this is definitely going to be for you. All right, up next we have by Tumi. This is Utopia. And this fragrance is a gorgeous fragrance that I wasn't expecting to love so much. I had never really heard of this brand. This is the first one that I experienced from the house. And I am definitely curious about this house now. They definitely have my attention. This has a stunning note of pink pepper in the opening. I love pink pepper. And this also has apple in it. So there's this little crisp, juicy feel to the opening of the fragrance. There's also salted tonka in here, which I think is fantastic. There's a beautiful sandalwood note in here, and then there's some florals in the fragrance as well. It's very feminine. It's not a super loud fragrance, but the longevity is really good. It lasts all day. This is a great fragrance to wear to work if you need something that's not going to just offend anyone. This is very non-offensive, and I can't imagine anyone not liking this. I've gotten compliments on this fragrance, and I just think it smells so feminine and beautiful. And like I said, I love that salted tonka bean, and the sandalwood in the base is really, really beautiful. So this is a house that I definitely want to explore more in 2025. All right, this fragrance is by Day 3 Fragrances, and this is Escandalo. And this is a surprise. I got this sent to me by the house. It sent me a bunch of their fragrances, and I didn't test this out until recently. And I was just like, whoa, where have you been? And I realized this is a 2024 release, and I believe this won an award. So this is just so good, you guys. This is so unique. This is not your typical tropical fruity fragrance. It has some citruses in the opening, like maybe lemon, but then it has guava in here, which is so fun. First of all, guava is super fun to say. And then it's got this really unique scent profile. It's like sweet but tangy at the same time. I love, love, love it. And then it has some florals, I believe, but then the base is unique because it's not your typical like summertime scent. It has a darker base. It has like a more earthy. I think there's vetiver and there's some oud in here, but when I looked it up, it said that it was white oud. It just smells woody. Like a woody base. It's so good, you guys. I don't know why more people aren't talking about this, but this is fantastic. And the performance is really good, and I just enjoy this one so much. I think it needs more love. People need to know about this fragrance because it is unique and it is so fun, and I love the guava. All right, this one is by Gucci, and this is the Flora Gorgeous Orchid. And this one is fantastic. This is one of my favorite designer releases, I feel like, of 2024. And obviously, because it's in here. A vanilla, again, for those of you who are just tired of overly sweet. I love sugary sweet cupcake vanillas, okay? So I'm not saying anything bad about those. But I know there are a lot of people out there who just don't want that. You know, they don't want to smell like actual food. To me, this has a sweet vanilla, but it never gets into full-on gourmand territory for me because I can definitely smell the vanilla orchid in here. And then there's something else in here. It's described as ozonic, which to me, really what I smell, I don't know how to explain it. It's like I smell sunshine. It's not, I don't know what sunshine smells like, but when I smell this, I get what they mean by ozonic. It smells like a bright, sunny day. It's so beautiful and it's pretty unique. I did not give this credit when I first tried it. I was like, oh, it's really nice. I didn't really get how unique this was until I bought it, brought it home, and started wearing it. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I really don't have anything like this. It's a unique vanilla with pretty good longevity, and it lasts on me pretty well. Again, it's not a big scent bubble, but I can smell this on me for most of the day. I get wafts of it, and I just think it's gorgeous. All right, up next we have by Snif. This is Heal the Way. And I blind bought this one, you guys. This is so good. The hype on this one is so real because, well, okay, if you like Palo Santo, you're going to like this. If you like pistachio, it has this nutty, it's got this nutty pistachio vanilla. Yeah, that's basically what I get. I get vanilla, I get the pistachio, I get the Palo Santo. It's so good. There's a sweetness to it. It's so easy to wear. Oh, that's super loud. By the way, there's a magnetic cap. And I just think it's great. It has really good performance on me. I don't struggle to smell it. Again, it's just moderate scent bubble. It's not a beast, but I don't struggle to smell it. So that's just perfectly fine with me. Yeah, the hype on this one is 100% real in my opinion. I'm going to be quick on this one because I have talked about this perfume so much lately and I'm even getting sick of talking about it. I'm sure you guys are sick of me talking about it. I had to put it in here because it deserves a spot. This is by Theodoros, kalotinis, and this is creme brulee, which I blind bought and it was very successful. It's very sweet. It's very gourmand. Some people say it smells like creme brulee, but for me, I get a ton of the coconut and it smells like coconut cream pie on my skin. It doesn't smell like that when I smell it from the cap, but when I put it on my skin, I get the coconut just comes out in full force along with the whipped cream, which gives it a pie feel. And that's what I get, coconut cream pie. It is delicious and I love it. It is so yummy. All right. And this one I've talked about a lot too. I was really surprised by this one. I had no idea I was going to love this. I even didn't try it right away when it first came out because I was convinced I wasn't going to like it. Finally got a sample of it. So this is by Atelier des Or, and this is Blue Madeleine. And this is just such a shocker. Like I said, I cannot believe that I love this so much because this has a black tea note in here. And typically black tea, I don't know, because it can be real bitter. It can be real bitter to me, and I don't really like tea. I'm not a tea person, but in here, because it has some lactonic notes in here, it really offsets it. So it smells real smooth and like there's almost a creamy vibe to it. Plus there's sandalwood in here, which I absolutely love sandalwood. Did I mention that? And that gives it this like creamy feel too. It just really softens out the edges of the black tea for me. There's definitely some spiciness in the open. I believe there's cardamom and like pink pepper in here. Oh, it's just so beautiful. All right, I blind bought this one. I was 99.9% sure I was going to love this fragrance, and I was right. This is by Montale, and this is Bubble Forever. This is a fun, playful bubblegum fragrance. If you don't like fun, playful, bubblegummy fragrances, this is definitely not going to be for you. But what I really, really like about this is that it's not straight up bubblegum. I love that they put a little bit of twists and turns to the fragrance. Like there's some citruses in the opening, which I really like. There's grapefruit, so it really gives it a unique kind of like zesty opening that I wasn't expecting. In the mid, I start to pick up on something that resembles bubble gum. And then in the dry down though, there's this toffee and amber and vanilla. It kind of turns a little gourmandish in the dry down. So it takes me on this really fun journey. It's not linear at all. I've heard some people say this was linear, but that is not my experience. That's not what it does on my skin. It takes me through this like fun, citrusy, bubblegummy, then gourmandy journey that I just enjoy from the beginning to the end. I just love this fragrance. It's not a beast of a perfume like a lot of Montales, which I personally like because I don't want this to be like too much because it's sweet and it could be like cloying if it was too much. It's moderate all around. Just absolutely beautiful. I love the pink bottle, and I think they did such a good job with this one. And I just think it's super fun. It makes me smile, and I love bubblegum perfumes. All right, up next we have by Andrea Maack, Jest. I did not blind buy this one. This one I had tested first, and I fell in love with this fragrance because it is boozy, and I love a good boozy fragrance. I love boozy notes in my fragrance, but I know that that is not everybody's cup of tea, and I will warn you that if that is not your cup of tea, you will not like this fragrance. This is boozy. Probably one of the most boozy fragrances I have in my collection. The first spray of this is like straight up rum, okay? It's like rum. And then right after that, you get this fruity combination between an apple and a plum, which I find to be juicy, bright, and dark at the same time. It's so great. I mean, it's unique. I don't really think I have anything like this. Whew, there's a lot of rum in here. And then there's this beautiful chocolate in here, but it never gets to be like gourmand chocolate for me. It's not like this overly thick, sweet chocolate, but it's there. I don't pick it up as much right now when I'm smelling it off the cap, but when I put it on my skin, it definitely comes forward and it helps to like sweeten the fragrance up. I think there's some heliotrope in here too, so there is a little bit of powderiness to it. There's definitely cardamom in here too. I'm smelling that right off the cap. Yeah, there's a cardamom feel to this fragrance. Definitely has like a little bit of a spiciness to it. And then I can't smell it off the cap, but I know in the dry down I get a lot of vanilla, and then there's a musk to this fragrance as well that helps to kind of, I don't know, it kind of gives it like almost like a semi-airy feel so that it never gets to be too thick, too dense. And I really like that about the fragrance because this is a powerhouse. This is a strong fragrance. It packs a punch. This is a beast mode perfume. This lasts forever and it will fill up a room. You want to maybe not overspray this because this fragrance is definitely powerful for sure. And this is going to be something that I'm only going to be able to wear in cold weather. All right, everybody's been talking about this fragrance because it's fantastic. And this is the Cashmere and Palo Santo fragrance. Everybody's been talking about it. We all know about it at this point, but it deserves to be on this list because it is fantastic. It is a designer fragrance that, in my opinion, smells niche. If you would have bottled this up and said this was a niche perfume, I would have believed you. It smells expensive. It smells amazing. It's got peach in the opening, which I was really scared about that because I typically don't get along with peach, but in here it just smells like a natural peach. It doesn't smell candy at all to me, which I love. I get a ton of the vanilla. It is a vanilla. I mean, I know this is Cashmere and Palo Santo, and there's definitely Palo Santo in here, but I get more vanilla than I do Palo Santo. For me, the Palo Santo is there for sure, but it's very smooth and it's toned down. It's not as dark and like smoky as some Palo Santo can be. To me, this is just so smooth. All right, up next, we have one that I was a little scared of, but It worked out because the oud is really, really smooth and it's a baby oud. A baby oud. If you don't like oud or you're scared of oud like I am, this is going to be a good one for you to start off with because it's a baby oud. This is by Tomavicci Opulentia Oud. And wow, is this a beauty. This is a cold weather perfume, though I learned that lesson. I tried to wear this when it was hot and ooh, it didn't work out. But in the cold weather, this thing sings. It just absolutely sings. It's very warm and ambery. It has some saffron in here and it also has nutmeg. And then there's raspberry. And the raspberry in here is what really makes this for me because it gives it this sweetness that just smells so bright and happy. It really takes this perfume out of that like, okay, so this also has rose in it as well. Lots and lots of rose in here. There's other florals in here, but I mostly get the rose. And then you have oud. So when you see this perfume, you might think, oh, like oud bouquet or, you know, that type of scent profile. No, not at all. I can't do oud bouquet. That rosy oud combo is not for me typically, but in here, this is so different. This is a light baby oud with some sweet jammy rose and some sweet, bright, happy raspberry, some saffron, some nutmeg, add a little bit of spice in the opening, but it's not too spicy. And then you have that darker kind of base, but again, it's smooth. It's not skanky oud. This is good. This is good. All right, up next we have by Paris Corner. This is khair, and this is the confection one. This one came out in 2024. I was a little skeptical because some people were saying that it smelled like La Belle from Jean Paul Gaultier, and I really like La Belle, but I didn't need another La Belle. You know what I mean? And when I first got the fragrance, it did actually smell like La Belle. And I think this is supposed to be a dupe for Candy Rock Sugar perfume by Kayali. And anyway, I tried that one. That one didn't work out for me because there was a patchouli note in there that kind of smelled a little dirty for me. And I didn't really care for that fragrance, but this one doesn't have any of the patchouli. So if that patchouli note bothered you, try this one. This one doesn't have any of that. But when I first got the fragrance, it smelled like La Belle. And I was like, okay, great. I already have La Belle. I put it away, let it sit for a while, took it back out, smelled it again. Oh my gosh, no. This is not La Belle. Yes, it has La Belle vibes in the opening for sure. There's that pear, that like sweet, almost like cooking pear. But when you spray this on your skin, the marshmallow in the base or at least it does for me, comes out so much. And I love it because I'm a big marshmallow fan. And that's definitely not La Belle. La Belle doesn't have marshmallow on it. This is a sweet pear, whipped cream, marshmallow, vanilla, delicious fragrance, but you do have to like sweet perfumes to like this. So if you don't like sweet perfumes, this isn't going to be for you. I blind bought by Dyad. This is Rise and Shine. And this fragrance smells very gourmand. It is a very photorealistic foodie gourmand. So if you're not into that, you're not going to like this. But this to me smells like a cinnamon streusel with almond shavings on the top, and then the icing with a cup of coffee, like a sweet coffee, a latte. This smells like Christmas morning to me. This is a very fall winter kind of fragrance. It's a Christmassy, cinnamony, dessert-like, and coffee fragrance. It smells delicious. But yeah, every time I smell it, I think of Christmas morning. All right, up next we have by the House of Argos. This is Sacred Flame. And this fragrance, you guys, is one of my favorites from the house. It took me a while to get to know this fragrance. It took me a while to really wrap my thoughts around it. But as I wear it, the more I wear it, the more I love it. And it's rising up to be one that I just think is so well done. It's very, very complex, but it has a lot of like brightness in the opening. There's like citrusy notes in the opening and there's some fruits, but the fruit that really stands out for me is tangerine. And it has like that sweet, juicy tangerine feel in the opening, but then there's cinnamon bark in here. So you mix the tangerine, that sweet, juicy, citrusy tangerine fruitiness with that cinnamon bark, and it's just so good and really, really unique. And then there's some florals in here. It does have the Argos DNA in it. There's a darker kind of base to this fragrance. There's patchouli in here, but there's also vanilla and tonka bean, and I believe there's sandalwood in here too. It's just like there's a bazillion notes in this fragrance, you guys, but it is so, so good. I feel like it's perfectly down the middle unisex. Anyone can wear it, and the artwork on these bottles is just absolutely beautiful in my opinion. All right, guys, and last but definitely not least is by Mind Games Prodigy. I am so in love with this fragrance, you guys. This is so good. It just gets better and better and better every time I wear it. And I was kind of scared. I'm not gonna lie. This is so good. I was scared of the patchouli in here because it was being described as like an earthy patchouli, and I get real nervous about earthy fragrances. That's not my cup of tea. I don't like earthy, dirty type of scents. If it reminds me of dirt or dirtiness in any way, I'm not gonna like it. This is earthy, but it never smells dirty. It's so smooth and beautiful, and it's offset by these beautiful notes. So there's a spiciness to this fragrance for sure. I think there's cardamom in here. There's definitely rose in here for sure. I get the rose, I get the patchouli for sure. But then there's this creamy cafe latte. So you get, it's interesting, you get like a spicy, rosy, slightly earthy patchouli, but then you get gourmand touches to this fragrance too, with that creamy, almost kind of frothy latte. It's so good. And then there is a gorgeous smooth base. One of my favorite bases is when you take blonde woods. I love blonde woods because it's woody without it being too dark. And then you take sandalwood and vanilla, you put it together. It makes such a smooth and creamy base with some sweetness. I love that base. That's what's in here, and it's just fantastic to me. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Those are my top 15 2024 releases. I absolutely love these fragrances, and I want to know what you think of them. Do you like them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? And what was your favorite release of 2024? I definitely want to hear from you and get suggestions from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope everybody is having an amazing day, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye.